Right, Kieran, thanks very much for coming along this morning. How you getting on?
Good. Christmas spirit, Christmas shopping, flying.
Christmas shopping, hey, you're organised.
Well, there's only 2 weeks to go.
Right.
So there is.
I'm sure there is.
Aye, so when you think about that, get it sorted.
So you have.
So everything's good. Sports finished up for the year and
Winding
the
up.
festive season.
What about school? Winding up?
2 weeks to go. This sort of quiet time for us now. It's January onwards, and they get them the picking university choices and all that kind of stuff. So
Have you dished out all the work for them to do over Christmas?
no, I don't believe in doing work
No?
over Christmas. It's a time of
Where were you when I was at school and college?
relax, you have to relax. No marking for me to do, so
You're lucky.
that's if I have marking to do over Christmas, it's not a holiday.
That's not a holiday.
No,
You're just
definitely
right.
not. So that's the way that I deal with the students, and I think they you get better response off them if you do that.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, look, we're going to have a chat today. Appreciate you taking the time and coming to see us. Just to set out and start, it's me, it's one-to-one, it's
Yeah.
private. Whatever you tell me today stays between us.
Mhm.
So you don't have to worry about that. You can tell me as much or as little as you feel I need to know. And I'm just going to listen and hopefully
Yeah.
bring some clarity to your thinking
Mhm.
on your issue. So if you want to just give me a brief description of what...
It's just based around on a position now near retirement, or not from teaching, like from Gaelic football,
Yeah.
but I've been offered a few positions.
Okay.
And they're all different each way. None that you could say that are, the three of them have unique features with them. So I really, really want to try and get help and support or some kind of thinking behind it. I'll set them out here. One is coaching and playing with the club I already play for. So
Okay.
coaching the senior team and playing. The second one is just coaching the team. There will be two managers and I'll just be taking all the coaching. And that will be me watching on the Sunday, and then they'll feed back to me of what they want in their coaching sessions. And then the third one will be manager slash coach, but me on my own. I've actually asked another boy to come along with me who's been out of coaching a while, to my set of eyes, because if you go back to the second one I spoke about, there's already two sets of eyes there, and I'm only going to be the coach. So I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Okay.
The second one offered me the coaching position, stood away
Right.
after speaking to them. The third one, I haven't heard anything back yet, but there has been a tragedy in that club, so
Okay.
obviously I'm not pushing at them, they come back to me and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
There's a few things about it. This year, if I'm going into this season, will be 20 years playing. So they want to set as a milestone and say I've had 20 great years, but then there's a lot of drawbacks in that because I'm going to be coaching players that I play with. I might just want to walk away from it because I think I do have had enough of playing football, and the attitudes are different now from whenever I played. Like.
Mhm.
And then the other thing is I done a triathlon last year and got a better buzz out of that
Right.
than actually playing. So
Change of scenery there, maybe just...
I think it's down to being you're on yourself in the
Mhm.
triathlon. There's no such thing as winning or losing. It's about competing, or completing rather than competing. And it's a sense of, geez, that's a great achievement. And the buzz that I got out of it, after doing one, I just wanted to do another one straight away. It was like, wow, this was great. Like I love cycling, I love swimming, running, not too fussed on.
Yeah.
They're only 5Ks,
Yeah.
and I haven't got a buzz like that in football in a long time.
Mhm.
And like the last 4 or 5 years, I couldn't turn around and say I wanted to play another game straight after it. But then it's the pressures of playing, and the same thing on a Tuesday night, well, what went wrong, what didn't. And basically in a triathlon, you're only analysing yourself of
Yeah.
how you can improve myself. So that's there. And then the attitudes of players now, I'll give you an example. I was at Coldplay in Manchester, or a holiday or trip all bought by the wife as a present. Flew back at 6:30 in the morning, changed all the flights. Came back and 2 boys were full the night before, and a derby game the next day. Like, I was thinking, why did I leave something? Never touched the drink at Coldplay, best concert I was ever at. And thinking, I dropped everything to come here for 2 boys to be full. Like, and I was like, it's not good enough. Like.
That's a big challenge, especially when you're playing and you've made that sacrifice to come back and to see 2 guys that maybe haven't even contemplated the same commitment that you've had, let alone follow it through.
And that's 2 boys that I could potentially be coaching and playing with as well too.
And if we just think about your playing for a minute, you talked there about the 20-year milestone. Great to play senior football for 20 years, you know, but in the long term, what's it really going to mean? Is it a chance to win a championship this year, or is it?
The team was there as an older team,
Okay.
and that would be something that would affect what my choice of coaching there, because in the next couple of years there's only going to be maybe a maximum of 4 or 5 players that are going to come through, and that team have no minors or whatever, so it's going to be a lot of older players for a while.
Yeah.
I think it's only a personal milestone in myself. I'm thinking, geez, 20 years is some achievement of playing football. I was invited to a tournament last week and played as a guest player, and I still knew I still had it in the legs and in the head.
Yeah.
So I was like, do I really want to retire? Do I really want to go and coach straight away? But I've been coaching youth teams up since 16 years now, it's more, 20 years now. I'm thinking this is the next step up. I've done all my work with youth and everything, but then I'm taking a big jump too quick. Playing, it's hard. They move away from it. Somebody told me leave the football before the football leaves you. So maybe that's where the stage that I'm at.
Yeah. You're definitely obviously contemplating that, and you're thinking about it, and the fact
that depends if we get boots for Christmas.
Well, we can see what Santa brings, but maybe Santa will bring you a new bike, and that'll cement your decision to move into triathlons. But you're obviously seeking something different, and that's why you've obviously taken on the triathlon, and you're already looking to substitute that playing, and the individual thing seems to really have caught your.
It does. I think it's because I'm active all the time. I don't want to just go away and then stop exercising or anything, because I love the buzz of doing exercise and keeping active, and that's come from the job, obviously, working in sport as well too. I felt if I let that go, then it might have an effect on me as a person. Yeah. So that's why I want to keep active all the time. The coaching roles I have now, I honestly can say that one of them, I've definitely put a big effort in to present myself to them. Okay,
so that's setting out in your mind already, that's sort of stepping out for you guys, where you would maybe like to.
I'll give you a clue or an insight into it. I met them. It was the players that I actually met. They've formed a committee from the players, and you know yourself in sport, the committee can be sort of a wee bit detracted from the actual players at the minute, like, so it's actually the players are making the choice of the management.
Right.
And fortunate enough that they actually came and approached me, and it was a fellow that I work with was one of the ones that put my name forward, and then their coach had left them last year, their manager as the other person put my name forward. So that's a great achievement that they're contacting you, and the second club was also the same, they contacted me as well.
But the fact that, sorry, what you said there about the players sort of having a committee and having a say on who they bring in, I think it's quite a big thing. Yeah. Because a lot of clubs that I've maybe been involved in myself, it's 1 or 2 older heads that make the decision, and they just pick a name out of a hat, or somebody that they think has a good reputation, and they maybe don't have the rapport with the players or the understanding. The players, they're not sure of who's coming in, whereas the players have actually made the decision, which must be a boost to your confidence.
It is, and going into the meeting and like doing the homework, I was thinking, right, I'm going to have to prove to them this is why they've been chatting about me. So I did do a lot of homework, I analysed them, I looked at them, and then they were giving me questions which was bringing out my ideas and my strategies and how I would approach different situations. And like one of the things they says is that they were struggling against the weaker teams, but I analysed them, and then actually a +78 score against the weaker teams, whereas the weaker teams were perceived as the bottom 6, and the top teams were perceived as the top 6, and it was only a +23 against the top 6. So I think whenever I planted that seed, they're thinking, this boy has some work on him. I've watched them. They only lost 2 games last year, so there could be a bit of pressure on that. And the 2 games were 2 away games, and they were against top 6 teams. So they didn't struggle against the bottom teams. It seemed to be whenever the crunch came to the crunch. And then obviously it was just due to a player being sent off that was the difference between winning and losing. So they're not that far away. So that could be an added pressure that what if they won or you lost 4 games or whatever. The second thing that I spoke about, I don't think the respect would be there in terms of they have a serious attitude problem.
The players?
And a serious discipline problem. I've watched them a few times this year, and there seems to be a red mist this ends when one player gets sent off, it nearly snowballs across the team. And that comes in like the cultures within the club, at all levels. don't get me wrong, that would probably be more of a long-term project because they have a good group of younger players, and then the transition seems to be there and that. I don't know if it's something that I might need to go and start working with their youth club or the youth teams, and then look at their and coach at the senior level as well too.
And if we just take your own club for a minute, just to maybe put that away, what's your ties to your club? You know, there's obviously these other clubs that you're thinking about considering, but your home club's your home club, and there's people that you know and you've known all your life in that club. You know, what's the emotional attachment there that's maybe holding you on?
There's not many. It's not really my home club.
Right. Okay.
I still coach my home club. My home club is Strabane.
Right.
I retired. So-called retired after I got married, and I'm living in that other club now. I've been living there 6 years, so they asked me to come out and play.
Right.
I still coach for my home club.
Okay.
Which is
Strabane.
So we're underage. So I have more affiliation to them.
Okay.
I'm just basically playing out there.
Well,
now I do a lot of. They have a Saturday morning once a month a coaching skill session. So it's me that leads that up for them, and I don't mind that because the boys that are doing it are working all week and maybe only home at the weekend. So I said I would head it up for them.
Yeah.
And I do enjoy that because it's only one Saturday and I'm not committed to it. I don't think I've any real ties to them. I think I've more ties to the players around me.
Right.
Because I enjoy the crack of them. And I get on with all the players.
Yeah.
Whereas
one of the things you highlighted on that actually just was they are an aging group.
Yeah.
So, you know, they will probably move on
Yeah.
and you'll be left behind, and that's maybe something to consider.
The big problem with that would be that a lot of them leave on a Monday night to go to London work.
Right.
So they coach on a Tuesday night. I'm going to have very limited numbers.
Right.
And then there's not many youth players to come in and then bulk up them numbers. And then aging players are slowing down as well. But the young players that are there are always saying, I want to get on the senior team, but they don't. I don't think they can grasp the demands of what it takes to be a senior player or the decision making on the ball. But that would be something I could maybe pull out of them. And that's a big thing, is decision making. I've seen now they're great, they're junior, and a lot of them have played grade 3 and grade 4 at the underage level, and that skill set is shown in them, where some boys will turn around and say to me, geez, well, I can on the ball, but I've played senior, intermediate and junior, and I've played grade 1 underage all my life, so I'm getting less time on the ball than what they would have got. So maybe that's the type of coaching I need to bring to them. Whereas in the other clubs, I feel the one that I'm pushing on myself towards, I think all experience of playing on all the different levels and playing against them and seeing what they're like is something that I can take to them. Now, I have a philosophy of playing, and that philosophy is ideal for that club that I want.
So it sounds as if you really have put one out in front.
Yeah.
So if you just look at your philosophy, and you present it to the club, how did that go down with your philosophy?
I think I hit the right notes for them because that's the style of play that they want to play. I know last year there were a few issues that at that stage of the year they might have to change that style of play. And they went with a long ball, and I spoke to one of the players and about the championship game as I went and watched them in the championship, and at that stage I didn't know the manager was leaving or anything, but I felt that the tactics that they used in the championship didn't reflect that team. It was like a totally different team, and that's probably why they lost. And it was based around the other team copped on. And just put them in the game, and then the boy gets sent off again, so it just changed the game set. But I do think that the pass and move or support play that I want to play is ideal for them, and that was one of the things they asked me is, what do you think our strength is as a team? And when all the players smiled whenever I said that.
When you said that?
So, I played against them,
and
they were a tough team to play against because it was just like, where's these men coming out of? It was just like one boy after another, and I was like, gee, where's, and like, that's how they beat us a lot of times. Now, they are in a position where they're ready to go up because they came down in a league last year and they weren't far away. So there might be a very high expectation there that we want to get up straight away. This other man that I'm bringing in, when I phoned him, I could nearly see he smiled through the phone. Because he's been out of football a while, but he has coached at the highest level.
Okay.
And that's why you want him there. He would be like my guide or mentor, my set of A's. That would give me probably more. He would have the experience and decisions that I wouldn't have. I've only coached at competitive level at under 14 and under 16.
Right.
And I took a team to a grade 1 final at under 16. We lost, and I learned a lot from that. But it's totally different from a young person to adults.
Yeah.
And then I might have the strategies or tactics that he might have. So
yeah.
that's where my aid or assistant could help me.
Okay. So look, you mentioned that the three teams that are all sort of vying for your signature are all in the same division. Do you think there's any animosity, or do you think you're going to have to work hard? Not your home club, but the other two clubs. Do you think you would have to work hard or harder to really buy the respect and the interest and the buy-in from them?
Good question. I don't think so, because I wasn't a dirty player on the pitch. I sort of had respect for the other teams, and then I was friendly on the pitch. But when the ball was there in front of me, it was a different story. I wasn't too friendly. But other clubs, I wouldn't even went at the interview, because I knew that just the players wouldn't have wanted me there.
Yeah.
So I know that if they approached me, they've obviously had an idea of who they spoke to. And the two clubs, look, I've never had any arguments or anything. One of the clubs I was there on a coaching capacity before through my own job, summer camps and stuff.
Yeah.
So and they must have seen some kind of skill set in me that's why they approached me.
Yeah.
And then the other club, obviously, it was other people who was word of mouth as well. And then I'm fortunate enough to work with one of the players, and he's going to be out for a year. So he's going to be another aid to me as well.
Right.
And then chatting to him, so we built up a rapport with him. And then obviously playing against him, like if I have no real negative attitude or anything to them, so they have seen me as somebody that they could bring in the club. I think they have made the choice already, so I don't think they would approach me if they thought that was going to create that environment.
There's going to be a problem.
Yeah,
right.
And then obviously I still feel I could play, but then I've played against these boys.
Is there any opportunity to play with those kids?
No. Coach would play. So I couldn't. I'll be transferred to another club. I'll be
there'll be three clubs.
More clubs than Tiger Woods.
Very good. Yeah.
But definitely not. Though I don't think there would be an environment where if you were the captain, I don't want to. What's up? I'll come to the other club. I think it would be welcome and with open arms.
Well, if you look at your colleague that you talked about that was a player, in what sort of ways do you think you could or will use him?
I think he could be what you said, like a link. I think he could be the link between me and the players, because it's very hard when you're going to a club. They try and link up with all the players and get a chat with them. He could be feeding back to me, well, that's what strengths, that was weaknesses. And that could be a wee bit of homework done already at the start of the year, where it might take 5 or 6 matches down the line before I find out, well, the corner forward's not a corner forward, he's a corner back, really.
Yeah.
Where he's giving me all information. And he's another set of, he's a training as well. He's going to be out for a year.
Right.
So he might be able to do part of his rehab as part of the training.
Yeah.
I could use him as an analysis
as
well for me. He could do bits and pieces. But I do see him as a vital link.
Okay.
As well as the mentor or the advisor boy that I'm speaking about.
And have you spoke to him about the role and his thoughts?
I think he wants to take the role without me even asking him.
Right.
I think he wants to be involved. I think if he went away from football, that he would probably start doing all the rehab, like he's going through ACL.
Right.
So it's going to be a long rehab process. And it's his second time, and the last time it didn't go so well.
Right.
And it sort of took him a wee bit longer, so he's taking a full year out recovery this time. But again, it could be saved by the bell, just like that. But I do feel that he wants to be involved as well. I get a sense of like, oh Jesus, Kieran's coming to the club, that's somebody I might want to work for him.
Yeah.
Maybe he wants to learn from me. Maybe I can learn from him, because he's the man and has been and played there already. Yeah. He's young as well, so that might be something he's looking to the future and saying, well, I'll maybe learn some stuff from him, and maybe this is how the way I can coach. And again, it's an inside man, so he's going to give you a lot of information that I've read on. Now, I've done good homework on him. So
I can tell that's really coming across. The information you have on them, and the enthusiasm, and the interest you have in them as a team. Is really coming out there.
Yep. I know we've spoke to other people, and then, as I say, the second club offered me the coaching position straight away, so they know what I'm like and see me coaching. whether that's the right step for me in the environment that's there, I do not know.
Well, tell me a wee bit about your coaching and your ambition in coaching. You know, where are you at as a coach? You know, where are you going to go as a coach, and you know, which one of those clubs would probably facilitate that development?
Yeah. I'm reading a book at the minute, and it's just about coaching and teaching, how they're interlinked, and I do see part of my teaching coming into it. One of the questions that the club asked me, the players asked me, was how would I deal with a player that's overweight. So they have obviously issues there, and then come from teaching a wee bit of pastoral care. I don't think they expected the response I gave them about, do you realise there might be underlying issues there? It could be illness, it could be a health problem, it could be family related. I think they were surprised, but teaching and coaching, there's not much of a difference. And that book is based around Carver, where it's a philosophy of, like, they see a picture and then they create it and stuff like that. Like, so I can transfer the stuff I'm learning in the classroom and to the pitch, and also, like, sports moving crazy with technology, so I'm using all current technology in the classroom. My philosophy of coaching is the ball moves quicker than you, and that's based around all the teams that I've coached, and I like to play off the shoulder stuff. So it's basically something like rugby, very similar to rugby, where if you're caught in possession, you're not making a decision quick enough to offload the ball. And it's transitions, it's getting the balls quickly from one side of the pitch to the other. And then if you're on the other side of the pitch, it's doing the damage. So a wee bit of basketball in it, a wee bit of rugby in it, and the tag element of the rugby, if you're caught in possession and it's a turnover, well, it's seen. Obviously we don't have the physical contact of it. And then the other thing is, when you're in the scoring zone, you have only 20 seconds to get the ball over the bar, because the longer you're in possession, then there's more chances of a dispossession of the ball. So I do have ideas there, and I've watched rugby, I've watched basketball. I don't think any of my coaching is just purely Gaelic football based, because if it was purely Gaelic football based, then you're only looking at the basic skills. I think you need to bring a lot of ideas in, especially now with teams are setting up with 15 people behind the ball. It's like trying to build a house on top of a house. So that's the philosophy that was there, and like they agreed with me when they asked me what was their strength as a team, and I said moving the ball as quickly, off the shoulder. And they nearly smiled, and I was thinking, they agree with what I agree with as well. And I'm all about using the ball. I don't think that some clubs have turned into running clubs, or it's 5Ks, how many 5Ks you can do in a week.
So absolute pitch and all that sort of stuff. Good.
If I was to sum it up for you, I would probably say yes, the third team is the team that I really, really want. But it's taken them nearly 2 weeks now to get back to me. But
well, I was going to just come to that, because obviously you presented to them, so you put yourself on display, which is quite a big step to take. It's quite personal, and you've opened yourself up to them, and to maybe not have that response, how have you felt with that, or how have you dealt with that?
I think at the start I was like, like one team offered me straight away, why can't they do that? But you have to realise it's like a job interview. No, they might have other people to interview, and then they make the choice. But then I realised there was a tragedy and a death in the club, so it's sort of delayed them a wee bit. And then I think going back to them and saying, look, if this other person had come under me now, has strengthened the possibility of this happening. I couldn't honestly tell you now if they will turn around and say yes or no. I don't know what way I sit on it, but I do feel I've given them enough fuel for thought, or food for thought, and that would sum up and say, this could be the step. And plus the recommendations from their previous manager, like if they have recommended me, they've seen something in me, and it's not bad when you get a reference from somebody else.
Just if the answer comes back from them as no, how is that going to make you feel, and how are you going to, are you preparing, how are you going to deal with that?
It's Christmas.
the challenge you might face is you just jump straight into one of the other ones without really
thinking about that. I haven't actually considered that what if all of them say no? What I'm left now,
you can still do it.
I can get on the bike.
Get on the bike
and go as far away as possible. I haven't considered the other two and what if they say no. I know one is a definite yes, but because I'm slowing down them, they might turn and say, hold on, I'm going to have to look at somebody else. The quicker obviously they get back to me, the quicker I can make my decision. But if they both say no, I just may hope that I get a pair of football boots for Christmas. So
We'll see what we can do with Santa.
but it's given me an idea of how I can present myself. I'd never done it before. And like, I met them in a coffee shop. It wasn't to say, it was very informal, which was good. But what would happen now, it has to be more formal. No, did I have enough preparation? But maybe I could get some feedback from them. And say, why did you choose someone else? Like, not in a negative way, but what could I do that maybe would have made your choice easier?
I think that would be good. I think, you know, if you maybe looking forward to the next few days, give them that wee bit more time, but maybe start to make inquiries and really reflect just on the good things that you've done. I do feel that I give them. I don't think I could have done anything different in terms of for one, I give them all my coaching ideas. The team 3, I told them about management and my perspective of management, and then how I can bring this other person in. So it did give them everything that I feel, but that's only my personal opinion. They might have a different opinion from me. So that's something that maybe even if I do get the job, I would still like some feedback. Well, if I don't get it, I still would want feedback as well too. So just over the next few days or week or so, you know, if you were to summarise sort of key actions that from our discussion that you maybe thought about, or actions you were going to take on board and do?
I definitely have to get in contact with the third club and ask them where they're at. Even if they're still interviewing, at least to know where they're at. I didn't really want to push myself and thinking, no, this boy's going to pester them. The second club, I'm a wee bit worried that they're just going to turn around and say, look, you've left it too long here. So maybe I'll send them a message and say, look, I haven't made my decision yet, but I will get back to you by a certain date. And then my own club, they know where I'm sitting at the minute. They have allowed me to go speak to them. Well, not that they allowed me, they know where I am. And all 3 clubs know that I'm speaking to, so I'll put it out and open them. I haven't disclosed and said, look, I'm not speaking to this club. And I've told them all the exact same price of what it will cost as well too. So no, there's no difference, and I didn't make a difference between them and the club just because they were a higher level club or anything, because it's a stepping stone for me as well. But I do think my big milestone now is going forward is saying to them, right, I need you to give me something that I can say to the rest of the clubs, right, this is the date that I'm going to give you, so this is the time. And it might be no, and they just have to take a chin, and it might be yes, and now you have to start planning. So if it's a yes, by the next time that we meet, I'll have to maybe chat about planning, so and draw some stuff out of you for that. But at the minute, I'm no further forward and no further back. I'm in a good position.
Well, hopefully our wee conversation has helped put a wee bit of clarity there. As I say, over the next few days, give me a ring or drop an email if you get some word back. And we'll maybe plan to meet once you get a bit of decision to see where you go forward from there.
It's been a rugby coach.
That's it. Off the ball, off the shoulder. Cheers, thank you very much.